So today is the day.
It's for the personally part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. The ambush.
And how was it like being a child star?
Yo.
Because you're still in school.
Hey, dude.
And then, you know what's the thing about being a child star? Mau fail esikolweni.
Yes. Our example.
Yeah.
One of the things that God has blessed me with immensely is the ability to just stand and talk. Right? And brought a lot of other...
Yeah, I was...
other gender.
Yes. It brought a lot of... I don't know why I'm so excited, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was then Christianity at some point in time, which is some of the things that still happens, and even now, possibly now worse than before. Christianity to some people is a fashion statement.
Yeah. And I always say that the storm is planned. So don't you think that storm of you not getting that call, or maybe you got the call, but the phone wasn't there, was planned?
It was. You know what? Everything that happened in my life, when I sit and look at it now, and I'm like, God knew what he was doing.
I'm sorry for making you do
That's okay.
Yeah.
Jump in front of a moving car.
Oh, man. Burning conversations.
So the idea of burning conversations is uncovering the hurt or uncovering the scars and helping the perpetrator to first heal because of what I experienced with my mother.
Yeah.
Right? I nearly laid my hands on my wife.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The most difficult job a man has ever been given is to love a woman like Christ loved her. Do you understand how problematic the church is?
Thank you for watching our video. This show is sponsored by DreamStream. DreamStream is a unique platform where creators can monetize their video content. All creators rely on support from people like you. Join us on the DreamStream platform to support your favorite creator and view the episode without any adverts. Follow the link in the description for a how-to guide. DreamStream, a place where you can create yourself.
And a person that watches pornography grows in lust.
Fasting has got nothing to do with God. Nothing at all.
You don't need to fight and debate about it and say tattoos are wrong.
Is the reason why we are still born again, but we are still addicted.
If it had not been for my parents getting a divorce, my mother would not be saved and I would not have grown up.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is what porn is. Porn.
Then,
Yeah.
you understand? They will say,
Had a dream.
I had a dream. I don't know whether it
Which
happens.
is wrong.
I don't know whether it happens, but mina ngiboniswanga mina owami unkosikazi ngazibonela mina.
Yeah.
Your mother was alive.
Yeah.
You did nothing for her. All of a sudden now she's dead. Now you want to take care of her.
It might not look good. It might not seem good. It might not feel good, but it's for your good.
Yes.
You know?
It's time. It's nothing, Mosibatando.
Yeah, I know.
Ungayithatha ne-airtime advance.
Yeah.
And just to keep hearing that voice.
Yes.
But that's
Just simply say, Silindele usuku olukhulu.
You can never accept the Lord as your Savior and be the same.
Yes.
You take care of a man, you nurture a man the best way ever, but it's also in your nature. So when you are fighting, when you are fighting to be submissive, you're fighting your nature.
so I go to this pastor and this pastor kanti umfundisi echurch ubambile na.
Oh.
Akabambile umruti. Obviously phela mabeshaya ipilot walk
Yeah. Okay. I'm saved. I'm a child of God. I'm a Christian. I pray, I fast, I do all these things. But I also believe in my ancestors. I also believe that they're...
It's normal.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
Right? In the community.
Yeah.
Mawukuthi siyakubona andile ushuma endlini unosisi lapha ekhoneni. It's normal. Nobody's going to say anything, right?
Yeah.
Question is, would I have known God had my mom not accepted Christ?
Jesus says, the world will hate you.
Yeah.
Because it hated me first.
Yes.
That was my first time I casted a demon out of someone's life.
And you're only 18 years.
Dude, I was the first time. And I remember after that, I was so tired.
Yeah. I'm a Christian and I want to have a tattoo. Is it wrong? the youth is not in church because we are not allowed to be ourselves in church.
Yes,
And God wants us to come as you are.
exactly.
I will fix you.
You see,
I will fix everything.
abaphansi abawona amadimoni
True.
kodwa sibakhonzi.
Yes.
You understand? I can't go ngiye kwabaphansi ngiyofuna umsebenzi. Mina ngibheka phezulu.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Kamalam, Lunga Coms, your host. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another episode of what we call Christ-like Conversations. Please remember to subscribe, like, hit the bell button, share, and I hope that this episode becomes an impact to you and anyone that is watching. Today, we're taking it personal. I've got Xolani Kubega, who needs no introduction. I was going to ask him to send me a bio again, but we know what happened the last time. There's no introduction. Xolani Kubega, how are you, sir?
Ngiyaphila baba kunjani?
Yeah, Pila, man. So,
As for we know what happened last time.
yeah. So, welcome to the sit down again, man.
Thank you. Thank you
think-
for inviting me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I think the last time we had a chat with Andile,
Yeah.
we had a chat about porn, we had a chat about salvation, dating, and all of that.
Marriage, fatherhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that. But I feel like I didn't get to know you personally. So today is the day.
As for the personally part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. The ambush.
I made you some cup of coffee. I know you love coffee.
Yeah. That comes with the ambush.
I don't know, where do we start? The first time I met you, just like I said, I met you in training, you were the facilitator. And I was like, hey, this guy looks familiar, man. Where do I know this guy from?
Funny enough, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Not even when. Yesterday in
Yeah.
the office. We were doing this Mandela vibe
Yeah.
thingy. And then I was helping with the popcorn machine.
Okay.
Making popcorns and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And one guy stands up. He's like, I know you.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, haven't you been on TV
Yeah.
before? I'm like,
the thing is with you,
No.
your face looks so familiar, but we're not sure because you were on TV a while back.
yes.
So we're not sure. We know you, but we're like, "Ay man, mhlawumbe ufana naye," or
And the thing is, I need to mind you what makes it even worse is that the reruns of the show now that happens a lot happens in the times where a lot of us are at work,
yes,
right? They will be happening around about 3:30, 4 o'clock on SABC One, and now people are like thinking, "What reruns?" I will not tell you.
yeah. I think I've seen one on SABC Enco.
Yes.
Yes,
There
yes.
was a time where they ran that. They ran with it. SABC Anchor, SABC One ran it again. And funny enough, whenever I tell people and then they try and Google and then they show this picture and I'm like, where did they get this picture? But yeah, I it's a long short story of how I was discovered.
Yeah. Do you still get paid for?
Funny enough, dude, I need to actually find to go claim for my royalties. Apparently,
Oh, you've got royalties.
we should be getting them up. Apasho njalo.
Oh, that's
One friend of mine approached me and said, "You know, we should be getting royalties."
Yeah, you should, man. I mean, that thing is still airing and people are still watching it.
People are still watching it.
Tell me,
Still watching it.
tell me about the character of Tammy. How is Tammy different from you?
Okay, for those that are watching and they're still trying to figure out, we're talking about soul buddies.
Soul buddies, yeah.
There's not much of a difference between Utami and me, right? Because when you look at Tammy's upbringing, yes, Tammy being an orphan, brought in to start living with Hamilton and the family,
Yeah.
but you can see the bit that there's a bit of separation in Yana.
Yeah.
There's a bit of rifts at the beginning,
Okay.
which is a bit similar,
Yeah.
to what I experienced growing up,
Yeah.
right, with my brother and sister, because I can't see four.
Yeah.
Though firstborn was not really, with us. So it was always the sister and the brother and then me because last born ekaya. But there's always been a bit of those rifts.
Yeah.
Not only that, when you watch Utami on Soul Buddies, you'll realize he's a bit more a person who talks a lot. He's a person who's outgoing, loves leadership, loves being in the spotlight to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And that is nothing short of who I am.
Yeah.
Right? The other day I was just thinking and I was like, one of the things I thank God for in life, and trust me, all credit goes to God. I sit and I look and I think, and I'm like, one of the things that God has blessed me with immensely is the ability to just stand and talk, right? And the ability to absorb pressure, the ability to stand up and say, if no one is willing to stand, I'll stand.
I'll stand, yeah.
You understand? And that is who Tammy was.
Yeah.
In as much as, yes, he was an orphan, left by his mother in the street, and later adopted by Hamilton's mother, stayed in the family, grew up with that cheese boy. But at the end of the day, you could still pick up those traits. I'm even remembering one of the episodes where they were looking for a class rep.
Okay.
And he would do anything to become a class
rep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I think that's a bit deep. There's a bit of a difference. But he would do anything right? Yeah. To an extent that he even joined the bullies of the school. He even they even made him to sneak in to a friend of mine still put up that video on Facebook.
Yeah.
And every time I look at it, I laugh. Where Tammy, I went up as Tammy over the window.
Yeah.
To sneak in and look at the girls' toilet.
Okay.
And Nozipo, played by a very good friend of mine, Tando Dlamini.
Okay.
She was about to take off her thingy.
Clothes, okay.
Her clothes off. And she was part of a soul buddy. So you can imagine.
Yeah.
A soul buddy. And she's the one that actually was running for class rep with me.
Class rep, okay.
Right? And there I am. I'm like sneaking in. And then Tommy! And I get off, run. And then now... then I'm beginning to realize, it's son, I just messed up.
Yeah.
You know? Now I have to come, reconcile,
yeah,
put things back and all that. So it's those things where I can pick up the similarities, loving leadership, loving the spotlight, you know, wanting to get out there. Yeah.
And you hated makeup.
Still do.
Why? Is it itchy or what? What's the thing?
You know, the funny thing, before I answer that question, the funny thing is that you're using everything against me that you gleaned. This guy is a gleaner. So here's the thing. Even when we were doing Soul Buddies, I was not really much fond of makeup. I think one of the things is my skin gets irritated easily.
Okay.
So that's why in most cases, oh my God, I forgot those ladies. But the ladies that were doing makeup, they knew it would be quick, small powder.
Yeah.
And then just to cover the oiliness.
Yeah.
And then time to time, just a small anyana. The part, I think, the only part where I really did heavy makeup, it was my first acting gig when I played Lucky.
Okay.
A short film called Lucky, where I was HIV positive. That's the pace where I had like serious sores.
Yeah.
And but not a fan.
Then did you ever have to do like crying scenes?
Yeah.
How run us through the idea of a crying scene, because people say ufake anyanisi.
Not necessarily. There's different ways, right? There's those that really cannot, and then sometimes they'll put something.
Yeah.
That'll.
But sometimes you have to think about something that really happened.
Some people go to that extent. One of the secrets is that before they shoot, you literally just don't close your eyes, don't blink, don't do anything. The air that actually goes into your eyes gets them teary.
Okay.
That's one of the things that I used to do a lot.
And how was it for you?
Oh.
How did you do it? What was your...
It will depend, right? It will depend. There were times where I really couldn't do it, and then they would just use the eye drops to get me flowing.
Okay.
There were times where I would have to try and remember, something.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it would be very difficult. Or even that one where I'll just literally just like this.
Yeah.
We're about 30 to a minute.
Yeah.
30 seconds to a minute. You're just like this.
Yeah.
And the air, as long as it keeps on hitting nicely,
Yeah.
it makes your eyes teary.
Cherry. Yeah.
I can even feel it
imagine.
now as
Yeah.
I'm like trying to.
I know
yeah.
for when it's windy in the
Yes.
morning, my eyes are very teary. So I understand.
Yeah.
You also acted with Tumi Shomasha.
Yes.
How was that like? Because I think he's iconic, but I think he is.
Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
Underestimated.
No. Make no mistake, that guy's talented.
Yeah,
I
man.
know Tumi Shomasha is talented and he's great. I think when we did his also connection with Tumi Shomasha, that was one of the most challenging
Yeah.
scenes I've ever done,
Yeah.
because here's how Tumi Shomasha came to me, right?
Yeah.
Because he was doing the acting and the directing of the sitcom.
Yeah.
So he comes.
Oh, he was a director as well.
He was a director.
You lie.
Yes, he was a director of that sitcom. So he comes.
Yeah.
He's like, how you doing? I'm like, no, I'm good. He says, okay, cool. So he says, this part, I'm trying to remember. He's like, this is how I want you to play it. Have you ever watched, there's a movie, I forgot the name, where Samuel L. Jackson was a hobo. As a movie, it's an old movie, Samuel Jackson was playing a hobo.
Yeah.
And he says, imagine Samuel L. Jackson as a hobo. And I'm like, and he says, that's what I want you to try and do. And I'm like, dude, I haven't done that. And you want me? I've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
I had to try and dig deep.
Mm.
I had to try and dig deep. And we had your Tumi Shomasha there. We had who's this lady? One of the
Was Leland Dube also in that season?
No. It was, who's this lady? One of the comedic icons or queens in South Africa. If it's not Celeste, she's light in complexion.
Dumi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dumi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dumi.
Dumi used to act in Soul Buddies.
Yes. Dumi was on Soul Buddies and she was also on the sitcom.
Oh, okay.
Also did the sitcom, is also Connection Together.
Yeah.
Amazing soul. Funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes you actually even forget that you are shooting because she won't stop.
Yeah.
She won't stop. So, yeah, you had your Tumi there. I had quite a number of people that we had there. Quite a number of people. And it was challenging, because now I'm there. I'm this young guy still trying to get up into in the industry.
Yeah.
And now you looking at this guy, you're looking at Tumi Shomasha talking to you, you're like,
Yeah, you're starstruck.
Right.
So you get a call today and Demetria says, look, I need to use you. I need you for 3 months. There's a movie or sitcom or whatever, something that we're shooting. Do you take it?
it's going to be a bit difficult.
Because now you're going to have to leave work. You're going to have to come back at home or 10, leave at 5 a.m. Because, acting it looks so easy when it's on screen. But the amount of work that those people put in.
Let me tell you, there were times transport would pick us up by...
Were you at transport?
Actually, they would pick me up. Yeah, at transport. Transport would pick me up because sometimes I'll be the first person they pick up because Setip Sloot.
Okay.
And they'll pick me up. We have to pick up Abu Giftim Khampanyane, Tando Dlamini, all these other guys. We have to pick them up. And the transport will pick me up at 3:30
in the morning.
You can imagine what time I woke up.
When do you go to school then?
Didn't. At times I wouldn't go to school. But here's a nice thing. We had a tutor on set.
Okay.
So what will happen is that on times where I didn't go to school, the tutor will actually go to school, collect my work. So there was an agreement with the school.
Yeah.
Not that the school did not know.
Did that happen for all the kids?
Yeah, most of us.
You lie.
Yes, they would go to our schools. I remember, I forgot Tando's school. A gift was in NSA and all that. They would go.
National School of Arts.
Yes, National
Yeah.
School of Arts. They would go collect our work.
So that production really had money, Moise.
Dude, you know what? Soul Buddies was because its main purpose was to educate.
Educate, yes.
Right.
About HIV.
HIV
yes.
and not only just that, there was a
yes,
lot
of
into
things,
it
yeah.
that they went in through. And that's why they had to ensure that they keep us also in check. Right? Because you cannot be having these people that are here talking about education, but you're flanking on it. I remember when I joined Soul Buddies, it was still the director and the producer was Bobby Heaney, which
I was about to ask you about him. How was it like working with him? But we'll get there. We'll get there.
funny enough, in his office is just up here.
Really?
I don't know if he's still here, but his office is just
Yeah,
up from
yeah,
here.
yeah.
And he's the guy that actually discovered me. Funny enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what they did. They ensured that they'll go collect our homeworks, bring them on set, and if you're gonna be there for a week, they'll go collect. You'll do. She'll then go and drop it at our schools
You
and get new ones. Yes, if you're gonna be shooting for, because sometimes you go to school
Yeah.
and then 11:30 transport is there to pick you up.
Yeah.
Or 12 o'clock transport is there to pick you up. So now you attended the first session.
The first session, yeah.
And then the other session, what you do, you quickly go to the teachers, collect homework, collect
Yeah.
whatever, collect assignments, and then you go.
Yeah.
Then, because remember, when you're on set, it's not that you'll be shooting the entire time. There's
Yes.
scenes. I remember there will be.
Sometimes you sit down while the
yeah.
other ones are shooting, yes.
So you'll be, what's that school? I forgot the name of the school. We'll be in that school. Throughout, we're shooting the whole day. We are in that school.
In the school, yeah.
So there are scenes where I'm not in, where it's Nozipho,
Yes.
Kylie, and the other
Yes.
guys. And then when it's their scenes and I'm not in it,
Yeah.
I'm sitting
Yeah.
and eating and and homework.
And the uniform, is it the school's uniform? Is it the Soul Buddies?
No, it actually was the school uniform. It was the school uniform. It's just that Soul Buddies had to make sure that they get the uniform for us.
Yeah.
But it was the school uniform.
Okay.
It was. And funny enough, one day I bumped into some guy. That guy made me feel old.
Yeah.
He comes, he's like, Eta. I'm like, sure. He's like, gift to Gunshan. And I'm like, okay, you know my name, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, Mfethu Gunshan. He's like, sharp. Like, I'm Kumbuli. I'm like, and I'm not one to actually say, no, I don't remember you.
Yeah, you just go along with the flow.
Yeah, I try. But if you ask me, then I'll be honest. I'm like, I'm trying to put face.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to. It's like, no, man. The school where you guys used to shoot, I was in that school. And I'm like, yabon. Now you're making me feel old. But it was a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful experience.
So you go to shoot during the day, you leave home at 3 a.m., you come back home at Sugu. Does that lead you to failing grade 10?
So what happened with grade 10? It was not necessarily that I was still in Soul Buddies by then.
Oh, you were not in Soul?
No. By then,
You were done with Soul Buddies?
I was done with Soul Buddies. It was just after I have done Is Also Connection in actual fact. But what had happened was that I had friends. So these friends of mine, we were running a TV casting agency.
Okay.
Right? So I did a lot of training.
So you were training the other people?
Yeah, I was training people in acting.
At 16 years?
So yeah.
You think you've made it? Nah.
No, man. The thing is, you know what? Acting for me is came from passion.
Yeah.
Right, came from passion. I loved it,
Mm.
but because I got exposed to both theater
Okay.
and TV,
Yeah.
so I kind of had
Yeah. A
bit
bit
of
of both
both.
worlds. Yeah.
bit of both worlds, right? And one of the things I got to work with, one of the guys, if you go to State Theater and you ask about him, Aubrey Makola.
Mm.
Whoa,
Mm.
the talent in that guy
Yeah.
at theater, man, it's amazing. And having to work with such people, I then gained a lot.
Mm.
So what then happened was that then I said, you know what? When with my friends we came together, we then started the TV casting agency. We had your Bruce Putiakai, we had Tumi Muswa, and then it was me. And then we had Colin Duma, which a lot of people don't remember him. Colin Duma was the guy who actually played the original Jonathan on Generations back then.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
not Right Ngubeni.
No.
I remember Right, but
Yes.
the one before, yes,
Yes, we were working with him.
yes.
We then trained. Then we would then time to time go travel to beauty pageants with schools and all that. And then after some time, Sean Hamilton started his own agency.
Okay.
We were struggling, and then Sean roped me over. I went with him.
Yeah.
Then what happened was that now I started touring a lot.
Okay, so you're no longer focused on school now.
Yes, now I'm touring a lot.
Yeah.
We'll be
And is
in
that bringing in
Limpopo.
money at that time?
It was bringing in money at that
Okay.
time. Would be in Limpopo doing a beauty pageant. We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there. So that's when I lost.
And what are you
Concentration.
doing with that money in grade 10?
So, funny enough, I don't know. Because my mom, so it was going into my account,
Yes.
but the account obviously being
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you know, and sometimes I sit and I think, and I'm like, yes, mama, mar. It's all rest in peace. I'm like, yes, mama, mar, udlale ngemali yami."
Ngabugude manje.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about it. Some of the money, I remember my brother back then was playing for Orlando Pirates.
Oh, really?
So we had to,
Yeah.
fund,
Yeah.
transport,
Mm.
shoes, and all that. So some of the money had to be directed to him for that. So, yeah,
So you were basically a child star that was bringing in a lot of money.
back then it was a lot of money.
And how was it like being a child star?
Yo,
Because you're still in school.
hey, dude.
And then, you know what's the thing about being a child star? Mawufail esikolweni.
Yes, kwenziwa ngawe example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kwenziwa ngawe example. It wasn't easy,
Mhm.
right? It wasn't easy because you are expected by everyone to be that thing.
Yeah.
You know, everyone is looking at you to be that guy.
Yeah.
But there's also something that you want to be normal,
Yeah.
right? Because some of the things that I always also thank God for is that I've always had this thing of saying I do not want to be that guy.
Mm.
You know, I don't want- yes, I've got all these gifts, I've got all these things that God has blessed me with, this all understanding, but I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I want to be the guy behind. I
Behind,
want to be
yeah.
the guy that helps people. I want to be the guy that pushes people.
Mm.
And now you become that guy that must be upfront. And it wasn't,
Yeah.
but it also,
Did it,
yeah,
did
had
it-
a lot, brought a lot of other,
Yeah, I was.
the
I
other gender.
Yes. It brought a lot of. I don't know why I'm so excited, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Brought on there a lot of other gender.
Tell me about that. Like, it brings. I mean, there was a point where 2 cousins asked you out.
Yeah. Shem. You know who I blame for this.
Yeah.
But let me not say it. You know who I blame.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. No. Expose him.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, no, man. It was when it comes to the issue of ladies, man, it was something else. To an extent that, funny enough, one of my most favorite memories of my mother, was that one day she walked in and we didn't see her, me and my brother.
Yeah.
She stood at the door and I was busy showing her my girlfriends that I had. Showing my brother my girlfriends.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about girls.
Yeah.
And after some time, my mother was like, that's when we realized she's standing at the door.
Yeah.
It's like, you bantwana bamni.
Uh,
Yeah. Right?
yeah.
And that's and I remember at one time, at Deep Sloot, you had 7 or 8 sections at that time. And I had a girlfriend in each section.
You were like me when I was growing up because I used to visit. My grandmother was in Orlando. We used to live in Orlando. So every Sunday, our church was in Orlando, Faithways Bible Church. So every Sunday we'd go to church, and after church we'd go to my grandmother's place to have lunch there. And in Orlando, there's like 52 sections, but at least in 10 sections.
Finally, at least.
Yeah, in every second street.
At least.
Which, yeah. And then and I look at that thing now, I'm like, oh man.
It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh. You don't understand it, yeah.
You don't understand it because I remember even as a scale, like
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry to take your pride, but I mean your time. But and you know, when you're growing up and you're 14 years and you're 16 years and you've got 2 girlfriends and you're dating 2 best friends, you're the hot thing to Amachans. When you sitting Amachans, Lunga dog.
You understand?
And then you start to look at it like, guys, I literally broke that relationship. These 2 girls were best friends. I dated both of them. And I broke that relationship. And I'm happy because I'm getting the validation from my friends. But to look at it now, it's like, come on, man.
Now the thing is now when especially once you start being introduced to Christ.
Yes.
And Christ becomes a rock and you start.
But I had Christ back then.
No, but
yeah.
Back then, you know what? It was then Christianity at some point in time, which is some of the things that still happens and even now, possibly now worse than before. Christianity to some people is a fashion statement.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Christian.
Yeah. You know? Yeah.
It doesn't carry the weight that it should carry.
Yeah.
So even for us, then we're like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It became almost like more of like an excuse.
Yeah.
You know, you're good to know, but
yeah. You need to believe in something.
You are.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
At least you believe in something. Yeah.
At least you believe in something. But now when you come to a point where Christ becomes real to you, then you begin to see things differently.
Yeah, it's good time, man.
That's what now Christ is real to you.
Yeah.
Now your relationship with God is real to you. Now that's when you're like, but I didn't need that. That was unnecessary.
Take me back in the days and tell me about Wild Room and why it didn't work out.
Yo.
And before, was it who was shining at that time? Was it Abo Akumzi? There's a girl that I had a crush on. Sade.
I knew you were gonna say Sade. I used to love Sade.
Sade, man. And then there was Cece,
Sade.
the vendor.
Yes. Actually, the show I did, if I recall correctly, it was Musa.
Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
I don't remember. Oh, Musa, Dr. Musa Mtombeni.
Yes.
He was also in Wild Room.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the show that we did, I was with Moose. I was with Karabo.
I don't remember Karabo.
Karabo. Karabo actually is the one that disappeared, just like me. Yeah.
But why didn't it work out? Like, what was it?
So here's the thing. I think back then, fun enough, before I answer that one, before Wild Room, I actually went for Crazy.
Oh, Crazy is the ETV Wild Room.
ETV one.
Yes.
I went to that one, and I had an interview. I did a bit of a show with them there. So with Wild Room, with Crazy, what happened was that someone broke into our house and we only had one phone, and that's the phone they stole. So I don't know what happened.
So you don't know whether they called you back or
nothing.
But don't you think that is God's plan?
Yeah, no, it is.
Because everything happens. Everything happens. I mean, there's a verse that I love so much that says, I think it's in Matthew 8, where Jesus says, let us cross to the other side of the river.
Yes.
Knowing very well that there's a storm coming up. Well, he's all-knowing, all-wonderful, omniscient God. He knows.
He knows.
And I always say that the storm is planned. So don't you think that storm of you not getting that call, or maybe you got the call, but the phone wasn't there, was planned?
It was. You know what? Everything that happened in my life when I sit and look at it now, and I'm like, God knew what He was doing. I'd like to believe, had I continued back then, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. Probably wouldn't be, because I got exposed to a lot of things. I got exposed to a lot of different things. Got to try out a lot of different things, and God got to see that if I let Him continue in this road, it's not gonna work. But it was a good exposition for me.
Yes, to go
kind
through
of
it.
to kind of go through it, see it, experience it. Because now I've got a better, different view of it. Now I live my life differently, knowing what that brings. And like when you're asking now, if Tumi was to call now and say, hey, let's do something, and I'm saying it depends, because now I'm more on family, Christ. And I'm like thinking, how does it whatever that now I need to do, how does it affect these two? If it's negative, I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But when it came to Wild Room, I actually did 2 shows. The first show we did got interrupted because there was a very huge storm, if I recall correctly. There was a huge storm.
Okay.
But that was bad, that it hit the signals at all.
And it just messed it up.
And then we had to redo the show. And man, it was a beautiful experience. Don't want to lie. But I remember when we finished the show, I remember these words were said. Yeah, but not there's not so many people that know him though. Unlike the other guy, he's known.
Yeah.
So there was, I forgot this other guy that we were with. He was the one that I was actually considered. Because he did more work than me.
you, yeah.
So in as much as I was good,
Yeah.
but because I did not do much work at that time.
Yes.
That's why I didn't make it.
I want us to touch on, what do you call it in isiZulu? Ithumbu. A nerve.
Yeah.
You had suicidal thoughts.
Yes.
What was going on?
Yeah.
Did you have attempts?
I had one attempt. Had one. And there was a lot going on, right? So from a family of 4, as I said, so there were 2 girls, 2 guys, 2 boys, and I'm the last born. The firstborn got married, stayed there. In actual fact, the firstborn ukhuliswa ugogo.
Yeah.
Mama ka mama.
Yeah.
The 3 of us. In fact, me, I ngikhuliswa mama kakhulu. These 2, which is my sister who passed on a couple of years ago, and my brother, grew up close.
Okay.
Right, they were very close. Now, having now to come and join them,
yeah.
they're already close.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm just
and when you last born.
Young last born, third wheel.
Yeah.
To their relationship.
Yes.
So we went through a phase where my late sister, second born, literally told me face to face that I don't love you. Not only that, my brother said the same thing.
Ah, man.
I went through a phase in life where for more than 6 months, no one spoke to me in the house. Literally. My brother and sister did not speak to me. Not even, hi, how are you? Are you okay? How was school? No, nothing. I went through a phase in life where I would come in, put my laptop on my my thighs, and just sit there and just not even watch whatever they are watching. Put on my headsets and watch my cartoons. At that time, I loved a lot of Dragon Ball and Naruto.
And how old are you at this time?
At that time, I was only 18. I was only 18.
Yeah, you understand what suicide is
Yeah.
at 18.
I was only 18, and there was a lot going on. You suffering rejection from the family. There's also that phase where I had to deal with the fact that I don't know what happened to my money.
Oh yeah, because now Soul Buddies is done now.
Soul Buddies is done now, and now you begin to calculate all these things. You begin to see, okay, labanta bangfuni. And there's a lot of things that are just happening within the family. There's a lot of things that you're just realizing in the family. And literally, like I'm saying, for about more than 7 months, no one spoke to me in the house. So that was an experience.
I can imagine. So your attempt, what was it? Sorry for making you do
That's okay.
Yeah.
Jump in front of a moving car.
Oh man.
And in actual fact, that one, not so much. The one that really attempt was I drove a car into a tree. Luckily, the car turned and I did not have my seatbelt on. So it kicked me from the driver's seat to a passenger seat. And it went like this on the driver's seat. That's how I survived. Had I had my seatbelt on, probably, I don't know, because my hamba so, behamba driver. My scriba so, it was the driver's side.
Yo, I feel like we need to end now. I feel like you're touching and like suicidal is such a deep thing to speak about.
It is. You know what? I was sharing with someone and I said, where the time we live in now and the things we go through now are so much touchy. They are so much deep that in our generation and let me not say in our generation, rather let me say in our community. And I'm saying our community, I'm talking about the black culture. Things like depression, anxiety.
It's not allowed. What's that? That's a white thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, I'm a facilitator at work and I teach on medical aid.
Yeah.
And I always make this joke, right? I'll ask a person, "Ubuzutini depression ngesiZulu?" Thank you.
You're mad.
Anxiety ngesiZulu.
You're mad.
There's
Yeah.
nothing else, right? And because our black community got so much used to that, we came to a point where when you're gonna start thinking or having such thoughts, uyahlanya.
Yeah.
Udinga ukuyogezwa.
Yes.
Udinga, we'll think of so many
Sacrifice.
things.
Yeah.
You need a sacrifice.
Or
Awko right.
something,
You
yeah.
understand? And I was sharing with this young man, I was saying to him, there is nothing wrong in getting help. Because I got help. I went through counseling.
Yeah.
In as much as I only got it now, singing Dala, because now I'm realizing, hey, some of these things became scars.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Became scars. I think some of the things that was an eternal scar, my mom, my biological mom had a boyfriend back then. And I remember this guy, Bekano Kumshaya. And there was a time Amshaya in front of me.
Yeah.
And my mother said, okay, maybe if she piggybacks me,
Yes.
the guy will stop.
Yes.
No, the guy didn't. Next fact, Angshaya, like he hit me here. And I remember the next day he bribed me with a keyboard. Keyboard. When I think about it, I'm like, keyboard.
Yeah.
It's not that I had them a CPU or something.
Yeah. A keyboard.
But back then I was like, oh yes.
Yeah.
I just got excited to just pressing that thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't care.
Yeah.
Right? And those are some of the things that I had to deal with. And
yeah.
come to a point where I accepted the reality that I actually was scarred.
Yeah. We speak a lot about victims. And I mean, your mother's ex-boyfriend was a perpetrator.
Yeah.
Your siblings, whether they like it or not, they were perpetrators.
Yeah.
Maybe unconsciously, but they were perpetrators. And there is something that you are going to bring to us for the next couple of weeks, which is called Burning Conversations.
Yeah.
Which really focuses on abuse.
Yeah.
But abuse on the perpetrator's side. Because everyone is speaking about abuse from the
victim side. Yes.
Tell us what that is going to be about. What are you going to be attacking? What's the whole purpose of it, so that we get people talking about, we get people listening to it, we get people understanding why, as a perpetrator, we do this. Burning Conversations.
So the idea of burning conversations is uncovering the hurt or uncovering the scars and helping the perpetrator to first heal and help those other ones to actually begin to see the symptoms.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Right now we've got, like you're saying, we've got all these beautiful and great establishments out there.
Yes.
POA,
Yes.
you name them.
Yes.
Which, hey, take nothing from them. They're doing an amazing job
For the victims.
for the victims.
Yes.
But I sometimes feel that you are actually dealing with the branches.
Yes.
You're not dealing with the roots.
Oh, okay.
Right? And in turn, it's like cutting a tree right in the middle of a stem and expecting not to grow. It's gonna grow.
It's gonna grow, yes.
Because the roots are still intact.
Yeah.
So the idea of the show is that let's deal with the roots. You know, the idea of those is to talk about the realities and warn men to say, listen, it's possible. So if I can give you an example or just give a testimony of it myself, because of what I experienced with my mother,
Yeah.
right? I nearly laid my hands on my wife.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Because you saw it happening.
I saw it happen.
And it's like, if it happened, then, you know, I understand.
Yeah, you know, it becomes a thing where you're like, it's a norm. You understand? It becomes, it's almost like a norm. I remember we had one of the biggest fights with my wife, and immediately after that, she was still my fiance in actual fact. And I remember immediately after that, I said, listen, go to the nearest police station. I didn't beat her up, but I nearly did. I said, please, if you're not going to the police station, I am taking myself. I cannot be acting like that towards you. And then she's the one that's took me out of it. And she said, no, you don't need to. You didn't do it, but get help.
Yes. Oh, okay. Oh,
Get help.
Yeah.
So the idea is to begin to sound the alarm to men that, listen, you need help.
Yes.
The idea is to get, because listen, there's this pastor friend who always says, men are expected to lead.
Yes.
Men are expected to be the head of the family.
Yes.
But men are sick.
Yes. Yes.
Can't run away from that.
Yes.
And
yes.
how do you then take a sick person and expect them to lead?
To lead, yeah. Yeah, it becomes a problem.
It becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So the burning conversations, it's all about, let's help this sick person know that he's sick and get help. So that bazo suguma.
Yeah. And lead with
And
proper
lead
heart, yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
You know, we need to come to a point where society begins to say, oh wow, we have fathers.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited. I think it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna drop when what day are you gonna drop it on? Have you decided?
It's still running, running in the head.
Okay.
I think we're still trying to organize, but we're still trying to see, is it gonna be a Wednesday thing,
Okay.
Saturday thing?
Okay.
We're still trying to see when can we do it.
Is it gonna be weekly? Putting you on the spot now.
We're gonna try to do it weekly.
Okay.
Now, the idea of why I also like to make sure that it becomes a weekly thing is that because so that we don't forget.
Yes.
Because once you do it once a month, we forget about it.
Yes. Then you move on.
And we move on.
Yeah.
We want it to be a weekly thing. Why? Because once it's a weekly thing, then it's out there. It's out there for men like you and I.
Yeah.
Right? Because now, you listen, we need a generation of men that will set up a great example for the ones that are coming before us.
True.
Yes, the ones that were before us, they've played their part. Some was bad, some was good.
Yeah.
But now it's our turn now to shape and change the upcoming generation.
True.
And I believe that God has given us so many platforms.
Yeah.
And this is one of them where God has opened up so that we can tackle such things.
Yeah.
Listen, the Bible says that the man is the head of the wife.
Yes.
As Christ is the head of the man.
Yeah.
But Christ is not a sick head.
Yes.
The man is a sick head.
Definitely.
But how do you then help this head? Because one of the things I always say, the most difficult job a man has ever been given is to love a woman like Christ loved it. Do you understand how problematic a church is? Do you understand? A church is problematic.
Yeah.
But Christ loves it anyway.
Yes.
And to an extent that he said, I'm going to come and die for it.
Yeah.
And we are expected to love our wives and women in that manner.
Yeah. Oh. Xolani, because of time, we're going to have to close it like that. Please look out for Burning Conversations. We'll post it on the socials onto when it's going to drop. Probably going to be a Wednesday. Xolani is going to be sitting with a group of people unpacking the perpetrator's side.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of it is also to impact, to help the next person.
Yeah.
So please be on the lookout for that. With that being said, this is how we conclude. Xolani, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you so
through
much.
again.
Thank you so much.
You're now a friend, no, a family. What do we call you? You are a senior. I don't know. You're everything.
Hey, but in Isina citizen.
Yeah. You're everything. You're everything, man. Thank you so much for honoring
Thank you so
Christ-like
much.
conversations. You know, having a conversation with you, you're so wise and you're so young. And I'm not saying this because I'm buying you, but there's a lot of things that I've learned from you with just the episodes that I've just watched, you know. The amount of wisdom that you have, it's almost like you come from Solomon's I don't know. In Zulu they say Solomon's thing, but yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
With that being said, that's how we close off Christ-like Conversations. My name is Lunga Combs, your host. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.